I'm Sheila Corona, and welcome to another edition of the Knowledge Vault. We are reading Handbook for the New Paradigm, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. We are in Volume 2, subtitled Embracing the Rainbow. And for those of you that are following along in the book, we are on session number 27, and that is page 211. If you are catching this for the first time and you feel drawn and interested, these are available in a playlist form on my channel, Sassy Seer Sheila, here on YouTube. Also, going up at a different rate on New Light Streaming Love YouTube channel and Rumble. So please do go and check those out as well. So, session number 27 here begins. The universal laws, though appearing simple in concept, contain many nuances that appear as paradoxes. Paradox is, quote, a statement that seems contradictory, etc., but may be true in fact. A statement that is self-contradictory and hence false, end of quotation. As quoted from Webster's New World Dictionary. For example, the law of allowance is not a law unless upheld by the laws of attraction and intentional creation. In this case, the law of allowance is a paradox. It is and is not a law. Inasmuch as the underlying basis of creation is conceptual thought, the laws are concepts to be interpreted or applied within the parameters of each and the combination of all, which is what actually, wow, that's huge. Right, because this cannot complete without that over there. That can't complete without that over there. And all of these sorts of things. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Wow, I'm being flooded with so much on that one. I feel to back that up. It is and is not a law, inasmuch as the underlying basis of creation is conceptual thought. The laws are concepts to be interpreted or applied within the parameters of each and the combination of all. In the simplest terms possible, this means that as each is understood, it must also be understood that all act in cooperation, bringing forth the result of harmony and balance. The fourth law depends on the interaction of the previous three as a prerequisite. Personal and group awareness acts as a form of clearinghouse for these fundamental components of creation. Without firm guidelines for expression, creation would express only as incomprehensible chaos. Okay, how many of us move through life not having a clear thought or about what we want or how we, this makes so much sense to me. Back to the book here. Attempting to comprehend the underlying laws of creation within their continuous interacting flow as they delineate creation is something like wondering which came first, the chicken or the egg. And this is in all caps. The creation simply is. Exclamation point. It is to be comprehended and joined cooperatively at the point of realization to the best of each one's ability to do so. Whatever that is, quote, good enough. I think that's why my guidance has been encouraging me to relax into the truth of who I am and not, and just really pull it into the inner and understand all of this here. This is where the power lie. And I can fool myself into thinking I know a thing. And believe me, I have. And I do all the time. But I keep being also shown very clearly, girl, you don't know a whole lot about a whole lot. You just think you do. And even the guidance, because, it can only give me what it thinks I can get or understand, right? Because again, the experiential filter, my higher self knows me, has been here this whole entire time. I always refer back to the whole, I'm going viral thing as proof of that for me. That was really rich how I set that up. It is logical then to come to the understanding that evolvement within creation is a constantly exchanging cooperative process of knowledge and experience toward wisdom. Those three words can be exchanged for attraction, intention, and allowance. The inclusion of new information within the belief system allows for changes in thoughts, opinions, and attitudes. And I got to say that is why I have always said the most important thing one can do is listen to everything and realize that there are puzzle pieces. Anything you are attracted to, anything that you feel moved towards or to investigate or whatever, it's for you in some sort of way, right? I love that. This then begins the process of becoming knowledge applied because the matrix or pattern of the individual or group changes and attracts different experiences. And again, I can attest to that. Through the trial and error process, experience sooner or later becomes understanding and the cycle repeats. That is what I have always termed, for me, intellectual exercise, where I'm saying all the right things and I think I got the concept and I'm practicing the concept and I'm talking about the concept, but it hasn't actually anchored in and become an inner standing, right? And that's what I feel like this is talking about here. Creation and its processes are all logical. And I knew that too. There's no persona in any of it. Thought, thinking could function in no other mode that would manifest and maintain form. Emotion is an important ingredient within the process. However, when in the individual or group experience, it runs the show, emotion becomes a trap and indicates a correctable imbalance. Oh, that's very true. I've had to look at my own intensity when it comes to situations. Is it because I'm passionate about that situation or that thing that I'm thinking about or speaking on or talking about? Or am I being triggered? Because there have been those who have said I'm triggered and I didn't think I was. But hey, again, I'm open and I got to see everything about me. And I feel like that's what this is speaking to. If an emotion becomes overly, what does that say? Because, however, when in the individual or group experience, it, meaning the emotion, runs the show. Emotion then becomes a trap and indicates a correctable imbalance. Again, a trigger, right? For me to look at. It indicates the necessity of setting aside time for self contemplation and, quote, pondering in the heart, end quote, to determine the truth of the information, situation, or circumstance that triggers the emotional reaction. It is important to determine what indeed is the reason for the emotion. That's what because I started noticing I was reacting a lot more than responding to things. When the comfort zone must be defended, it may be too rigidly maintained. Perhaps it is the time to consider letting go and getting back into the flow. That which assaults the comfort zone of the belief system can oftentimes contain elements for moving to the next level of evolvement and deserves consideration. Now, there was a time in my life in a conversation group that I was part of, where if a being was triggered, well, they just couldn't hang around you because you're just too triggering for me. I don't agree, but nothing you say, and it was just like that, And now I've changed my thought, not just changed. I kind of knew then, I think, on some level, but it has become an alchemical epiphany that when one is immediately automatically and almost always automatically triggered about a thing, I feel like that's what this is referring to here. That which assaults the comfort zone of the belief system can oftentimes contain the elements for moving to the next level of evolvement and deserves consideration. Considering and looking for the logic within the whole of the issue or situation is participating within the 3 steps of basic creation leading to the 4th. Inertia is not an energetic element. Therefore, it results in either termination of the focus or causes a void that will be filled with something. Oh my. It is best if it is filled intentionally. The object is to be charismatic within the process of participating in creation. Each is a focused point of self-awareness within the entirety of creation. This is not an insignificant status. There is no such thing as being, quote, just a human being. I feel that's true. Underlying all of creation, including the universal laws, is pure potentiality. As a focused, self-aware component of the whole, the potentiality of that whole belongs to each and every component. Each is entitled to equal access to that potentiality by simply applying it, indeed becoming it. Oh my word. Wow. I participated in a thread yesterday that talked about flat earth again. And I'm like, you know what? I am a we all create our own reality kind of gal. And if you believe the earth is flat, it is flat. If you believe it's a globe, it's a globe. And if you believe it's an amoeba shape, concave, spider shape, whatever you want to call it, I feel like and this actually is proving that point to me anyway. It's certainly a puzzle piece, and I cannot unsee that we were just having that yesterday. What that potentiality is for each individual or group is a matter of choice, governed only by current genetic limitations and thoughts, opinions, and attitudes. Therefore, thoughts, attitudes, and opinions govern how much advantage is taken of the absolute potentiality that is yours by right of who and what you are. Those that have progressed beyond the earth experience by availing themselves of this opportunity to become have been called, quote, gods. That which, quote, they have done, you can do also and more. Boy, and we all know who said that. And if you don't, let me clue you, it was Christ. Look it up, it's in the Bible. It is your already owned entitlement. It is time to stop listening to the falsehoods of the need to wait until after death to claim your heritage. Is yours. It is yours now and always has been. The knowledge of who and what you are allows you to apply the laws by which you were birthed into the creational flow and to become your dreams. And I want to stop right here. It is your right to live life abundantly. And I want to say this here about this. The knowledge of who you are and what you are allows you to apply the laws which you were birthed into the creational flow. This is easily testable. This is why I have an issue when people call it the woo-woo or the esoteric or whatever. All of these concepts are self-provable, is my thought. When it said earlier that it was logic, oh, yes, it is. It follows logic. People get lost in the programmed sauce and they forget to apply logic and ask yourself for directions. Don't buy into the idea because you don't have them letters after your name that you don't know what's going on, because trust and believe, if a girl who failed the ninth grade, sorry, didn't even remember, failed the ninth grade can do this. If the desire is there, knock and the door shall be open, seek and ye shall find. You can prove all of this to yourself without involving anybody else. That's what I love about it. That's why I call this a quest. And I really do feel like that's what this is. The knowledge of who and what you are. You got to find that for yourself. You got to let yourself show you the way. And it's really easy. You just have to listen to yourself. At least I say it's easy, but it wasn't easy for me until I let go and really turned inward. Back to the book here. Among the nuances of the application of the laws is the necessity to understand that it is necessary to live, quote, within the laws. It is within the law of allowance that it is appropriate to discuss abundance and luxury. A dictionary often contains much wisdom and is most helpful in reaching greater understanding. According to Webster's New World Dictionary, abundance is, quote, great plenty, more than enough. Luxury is, quote, the enjoyment of the best and most costly things, anything contributing to such enjoyment, usually something not necessary, end quote. Therefore, abundance is living within the law of allowance, for it allows all to also live in abundance. Luxury encompasses living in extraordinary abundance. It is also very important to emphasize that abundance is not necessarily the same thing to each becoming focus of awareness. It is the responsibility of each one in the process of becoming to manifest their life experience within their own ability to function within the laws. However, it is not within the laws to take another's abundance to add to your own. Cooperation is the keynote, and competition is the death knell of progress. Does that mean it's unfitting to win a race or participate in athletic events or to be better at something than others? Of course not. It is just that the perspective is required to fit, quote, within the application of the universal laws. This is an example of the paradox principle that can easily become a trap. The path of becoming is like your game of golf, not at all predictable in every aspect or the ability to always repeat success. Therein lies the challenge and the fascination of the game. In the game of life, there is no dropping out. Once focused into awareness, the game is ongoing. It may change playing fields, but it keeps on keeping on. It is much easier to play if that concept is firmly held in mind. The more playful the attitude and the greater the sense of humor that is brought into the process, the easier the passage through becomes. This is true. I agree. I so agree. That's why I often joke that I live in a sitcom because we're just a whole bunch of funny people around here. And I'm so glad that we are. Indeed, those who have trod the path before you laugh well and frequently. Oh, yes. Try it. You'll like it. That was the end of number 27. I'm actually gonna post this and I'm gonna send it to a friend in private message. So when you see this, you will know who you are. I love you guys so much. I will be right back with number 28. Actually, on my channel, it will be right back because I'm trying to put these out as quickly as possible as I read it for myself. But again, I can't help see the timing and the synchronicities that are showing themselves to me. The last one that I read and this one, each one has something that I'm moving through in these very moments of now. So I find that quite interesting. I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It is only a matter of your perspective. And if you find your perspective not too joyful, look again and see if there's not something. Pull yourself out of the fray for a moment and see, is there a perspective I may be missing? At any rate, until next time, be well, my friends. Mwah.